Actually start again.
We're live.
What's up, everyone? What's up, Rebel Team? What's up, LinkedIn? What's up, Facebook? What's up, Reddit? What's up, Twitter? What's up, Twitch? What's up, Discord? What's up? Actually, we're not really on any of those, but what's up, everybody? Wow, what a great day to go live with my good friend, Michelle. You guys, maybe you know her, maybe you don't, but just in the last 10 minutes alone, she made me at least $100,000 in this last year just by one little nugget of wisdom of how I can really like package my services, what I do best, and help more people on a scaled out kind of level. So guys, already the stuff we're going to be talking about here is really, really important and valuable and could change your life. It actually will change your life. That's actually the whole point of us being here. But besides that, Michelle, I mean, how the heck are you? You know, what's going on?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to make everybody 100K by the end of this year.
Damn. That's a lot. Everybody. I mean, you're talking everybody. Like everyone's invited to this 100K party. That's happening.
Yeah. And it's that simple and that easy. Well, okay, not that simple. We'll talk
Should we
about
just end the show? Is that it? Okay, guys, show over. Just sign up for Michelle's email list and you're going to get in on the 100K. Okay.
I'm serious. Like people don't think about these type of things, and my mind like goes into places where a lot of people don't. And so we'll talk about this later. But like a lot of people, when I talk to them, a lot of coaches, when I talk to them, they're focusing on how do I get that one-on-one client? How do I get out that one-on-one client? Or how do I get more clients? But they don't look at the bigger picture. Like when you're so narrow and tunnel focused, you're only focusing on, okay, so how do I get that first client? Well, what about your all other systems? Because you're not just going to have business for one day, right? You're going to have a business for hopefully the rest of your life. If you're so passionate about coaching, then you got to think about ways that is set up so that it allows you to keep scaling.
Yeah.
So we'll go more into that.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, I was just, one of my clients, he helps people. He's been like in the medical software sales industry for quite some time. And, his specialty, like his thing is he has had so much, I guess, experience, and he's built up this kind of Rolodex of clients. But what we talked about just today was how he can go from being a consultant and helping people one-on-one with this very, valuable service so that he knows a lot of people that he can connect them to making that into more of a cohort-based kind of program where it's like, hey, get all of these clients that you already have that you're working with one-on-one, bring them all together, do something like doing group coaching with them like once a week and really show them how to sell on their own, or like give them some kind of, it's like, it's not one-on-one, it's more of a low ticket initial offer where they're all together and they're in a group setting, and that's awesome. And they're learning from each other and they're learning from you, and they're understanding what it takes to sell into a specific industry, like medical, health technology, basically. So it's, it's not just another sales course cohort, but it's for you, your industry specifically. And then the people that want more help, they can upsell into working with you closely one-on-one. So yeah, there's so many different ways you can structure stuff. And, you've already thrown out a couple of good ones.
See, I told you I was going to make 100K for everybody.
There we go. All right. We're going to start charging for this. Link to Patreon's down below. You better throw $20 into this thing right now, or get off the live.
Or just comment down below. Just comment down below if you're ready to make 100K this year. Like type 1
Michelle's too
for
nice.
yes.
She's too nice.
Type 2, no, you're not ready for 100K yet. If you're not ready for 100K yet, that's okay. No judgment.
Well, yeah, sure. If you're not, everyone should be ready for 100K. That's a good benchmark. I feel like that's kind of a step. It's kind of a level that we all aspire to. It's that magic number, 100K. What is it about that number, Michelle? Why do we want to get to 100K? Why not 150? Why not 80?
So I really have a lot of, so this is totally like off the topic now. And my thinking around this 100K is, I don't know who set up the rule, but people always wanted to like make that 600 six-figure coaching business, six figure.
Mm,
And my thinking is, if I can get you skipping the 6 figure and get you making 7 figure, wouldn't you want the 7 figure more than the 6 figure? So like if you set your mind to something, that's the only thing that you're going to accomplish, right? Chances are all the things that you bring in, all the energy, all the work that you do is only going to get you to the 6 figure. But if I were to have the mindset and thinking that by the end of the year, I'm going to be a 7 figure coach. Okay, by the end of the year, I'm going to be more than just a 6 figure coach. Then we're talking about something different now. You're going to have come up with very different strategies in how you're going to the 7 figure mark than your 6 figure mark, because I'm going to be a lot more dedicated. I'm going to be a lot more focused, knowing what I can do different, and just really accomplishing to get to that 7 figure. So people need to stop saying, I want to be a 6 figure coach, or I can help you become a 6 figure coach, because then your mind is training that all the work that you do is only going to deserve a 6 figure. That's just my opinion.
wow. So not only are you getting us 100K, you're actually getting us an extra million right here, like getting us to the $1 million mark with that mindset. No, that's like so it though. That's so true. It's so great. Like, I mean, yeah, we have this space, like this space in our mind, space in the universe, like our energy. We have this big container that we create, and and the actions that we take have to, like, they has to fill that container. Like the only thing that's missing, the only thing is the system within that, and then the faith that you have in yourself to get there. So one of my clients, he's an executive coach. He helps startups, and for years he was helping startups that grow really, really fast. And when they grow fast, they run into all of these problems because their systems aren't set up to grow, to operate at this level of like the money that they have, or more importantly, with the amount of people that they have on the team. So he would always have to go into these companies and he'd help fix them, like when they're about to break and burst. Now he's like, you know what? I've been doing that for 20 years. I'm tired of that. What I want to do now is actually help companies set up these systems from the beginning, so that so that they can scale, put them in the mindset, give them the right tools so that they can grow into this big amount of money. And that's what we got to do as coaches, as business owners. Yeah, screw the 100K. We really can think big into this $1 million mark or more.
Yeah.
But I think it's a faith thing.
So like for me, I came off from a profession where I was already making 6 figure, right? So I didn't want to start a business where I can only make 6 figure. I was already making 6 figures. I don't need that. What I need is something else that would take me away from that 6 figure that I was not feeling fulfilled, that just really just pays my bill. That's about it. But I want to get out of this, so I need to make more than just a 6 figure. So guess what? It's like opening up a map, right? So if you wanted to go to a destination, if you want to travel somewhere, you need to pick a destination. Once you pick a destination, you're going to look at the map and say, okay, so let me figure out how do I get there. And so if you focus on here's my 6 figure and here's my 7 figure, your path of how you travel, how you get to each mark, how you meet each benchmark, it's going to be very different. Your strategy would be different. The way that you approach the whole entire business is going to be very different. Your mindset would be completely different, right? So if you just open up the map and then say, today I'm going to aim for, by the end of the year, I'm going to make 6 figure and I'm happy with that. But you're missing the mark of how you can travel to make more than just being the 6 figure coach. It's a different path, it's a different strategy, it's a different system. And so I think what's happening nowadays is that we've been brainwashed by the fact that a lot of us, we encourage, a lot of marketers, we encourage people to, that's build your 6-figure income business. But then we're also brainwashing them to think only very small, only creating a system, a high ticket service system that has not been tested, The program has not been tested. So people jump into creating these high ticket courses and programs that has not been tested. And that to me is a very risky thing to create in your business, because you don't know that whether or not this is something people will actually buy. So you spend twice amount of energy trying to convince somebody that your program worked. And what happened when you convince? You either get no, a lot of no. You have to hear a lot of no in order to get that one yes, because people need to see the result. People need to feel that this is getting my money worth. So you're spending a lot of time just trying to do the busy work, versus if you were to create and start by testing out something that you have in mind, an idea, and validate it, knowing that there's actually a market for this. How do I scale this small ticket item to a high ticket program? Because throughout this business journey, you're going to add more and more and more, right? So you're always going to hear feedbacks from your clients. You're always going to hear the naysayers. There's people who's making negative comments. Through those comments, how can you improve your program to make it a high ticket sales? And so you need a system to be able to scale to that high ticket that has been validated, that has been proven, that has been tested multiple times, and you have success stories to back it up. And that is how you grow a coaching business. And I'm not saying that you're going to get to 7-figure like overnight, right? Well, I'm talking about like you know the path and the system that you need in order to get that benchmark. But if you focus on hyper focus on just the 6-figure, then if you're happy with that, you're happy with that. No judgment. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, relative. That was awesome. Wow. That was a lot of fire. You just spit lots of fire there. Yeah. I mean, business is crazy. Like there's so many different paths. When I first started, I thought, I like joined a couple coaching programs, and it was like, it seemed like there was just one way. Like I had to do marketing in this way, and I had to sell in this way and have this kind of sales sequence, and like from a DM to a high ticket coaching program, and boom. I mean, I didn't know that there was anything else out there. I didn't like even understand other ways to make money. I didn't know you could just like create something and make money. I had the idea, for me, it started with like an email, buying courses through like an email list. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. I have an email list and I send an email every day. And then I can buy this course. Like that's exactly what I want to do. Like that's the way to do it. And to some degree I still do, but okay. So I guess like a quick, story about, how we can change, how we can have a different sales sequencing and like really show how we can grow a lot by just tweaking the way that you sell and the way you bring customers like to you and advance them is, I'm working with someone now who has a course, and, he was doing like one-on-one kind of consulting work and all is good. And then he got the idea, I want to make a course. Like I can scale with a course and I can make a bunch of money. I get a bunch of people in, they all buy the course for a lower ticket, and I'll like, be rich, and like I'll do it. And maybe they'll upsell, whatever. But it's like a thing with a course is, most people don't even finish a course. Only like 10% of people actually go through a course and actually finish it. So right off the bat, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, because if you're trying to upsell someone from a course, like, well, if most of them didn't even finish it, you're not going to be able to move a lot of people down the line. But what if instead you did more of what you just said and what I did, which was having a kind of a low ticket offer, but bringing people into your world one-on-one from the beginning. So when I first started coaching, it was like straight to high ticket. Like I just started coaching. I'm trying to sell like 4K 3-month coaching packages. Like that's what everyone does. And I got so many no's, no. Luckily I had one, guy who bought from me, and he's still my friend to this day, and get my business going. And that happens. But as soon as I did something else, as soon as I switched this thing, I went for a whole year. I had all these conversations from people on Facebook. And then at the end of the year, I created a new offer. I called it my content in an afternoon session. where it was a low ticket offer, it was like $500. And then I contacted all those people from Facebook that I had built relationships with and had calls with. And within like 2 weeks, I made 10K because everyone all of a sudden said yes. Like they had all that built up trust. I had talked to them and they all said yes. And it's like, finally, like, wow, yeah, like this gets people in the door. And then I even started selling it for 500 and they're like, wow, this is like way too cheap. And halfway through I bumped it up to 1,000 and then people are still saying, wow, this is like way too cheap, but I'll buy it. And then from there, I upsold some of those people into higher coaching packages. So it just showed me the power of giving someone the experience of you as a coach and then, maybe upselling. Just an alternative. There's just so many ways to do it.
I still think that every coach should have a high ticket, and that's still your premium. That's still your one-on-one, right? So you still want to have that. But if you think about your lifestyle, you got into coaching because you enjoy the time, you enjoy the freedom. So do you want to just rely on the one-on-one coaching? And a lot of these clients probably come from your referral, word of mouth, which is great. But in order to get yourself the freedom and time, you need to think of a way or smarter way of leveraging your time. Like you're not going to be able to fill your calendar with all these one-on-one clients, but where are you going to be? You're going to get burned out. Like every single day you're taking how many calls? To me, that's just stupid. To me, that's just stupid being a coach. I don't have any better way of saying it.
Job.
Yeah, no, it's like a full-time job. You clocked in and there you are, you're like one-on-one session and talking to client, you absorb a lot of energies, right? You absorb a lot of, clients happy, their ups and downs. You have to be there with them. And so that was not a lifestyle that I enjoy. And, personally, I like the freedom of being able to jump on a live call with RC in the middle of the day, right? I want that freedom of controlling my time. So my way of approaching things is we're starting with a low ticket proven offer. So a lower ticket, it could be a group coaching, it could be a course, it could be a membership, whatever that you are offering, you want to invite people to come in, and it needs to be a low ask. When you offer a high ticket item, it becomes a big ask. In order to get a big ask, even when you shop for a TV, like at the end of the holiday sales, you wait for the sale. Why? Because a big TV is a huge investment, right? If you think about high ticket offers, despite the fact that I'm going to be able to sit home, I'm going to be able to enjoy my life, you're going to help me to change my mindset, change my life, that's a big ask. And so just like investing in a big TV, I'm going to wait to make sure that I actually have the need in order to buy that high ticket item, whether it's $3,000, 10K, doesn't matter. It's a big ask. So if people don't know you and they can't trust you, and they don't know much about you, then you have to do a lot of extra work. You have to do a lot of, conversation. You have to do a lot of convincing. Your resources and your content you need to show up every single day. And this is where people feel stressed. People feel burned out. Coaches have burned out. And so when you create something like group coaching, a membership or a workshop or a seminar, you invite people to get to know you. It's their opportunity to show up, get to know how you work, be familiar with the way that you talk and how you sound. People will decide in their mind whether or not this is someone that I can trust. And the way that I build trust or build that connection is through storytelling. So I have a course I'm launching right now where I teach women coaches to use the power of storytelling so they can articulate, they can build that trust, they can position themselves as the expert. And I also teach them how to market their coaching business. And of course, it's about walking someone through the branding, through the storytelling, through the marketing. And we do that within the 5-week time. Now, back to your point about how a lot of people don't finish the course. And there's a number of reasons that lead into that. Number one is people buy on emotion and buy on impulse. When they see something that's important, that looks interesting, that looks new, it prompts them to wanting to sign up. But when they signed up, they may not necessarily realize the time, the need, and whether or not this course is actually a good fit for them. And so a lot of that has to come from the content that you create through your marketing campaign, right? Am I giving my audience the idea of this is what the course is about, this is about my coaching program, this is how I work, this is what my topic is, this is how my area of expertise. If we're not walking that client through that journey as they're consuming our free resources or our content, and we take them straight to the course, then a lot of time either the course has too much material that this client had no idea what they're going through, or it's just too intense for that person. So maybe dial back a little bit and look at the course content itself. Look at the course content itself and see if there's anything that was a little too overwhelming. And sometimes I will even reach out to my students and I say, hey, I noticed that you haven't completed this week's assignment. What's going on? And a lot of time they'll tell me, oh, there's things that came up in my life, and I just couldn't get to the homework. And so you as a coach, you can coach them around the mindset to help them to keep moving forward in that course, right? So it could be the design of the course. It could be, the person is not ready yet and they jump straight into the course. And sometimes it's just a little bit of conversation going on that would really help to make sure that the person who's taking the course becomes successful. So there's a number of things in there.
Yeah, well, that's really cool how you're talking about this course that you made. So it sounds like it's not just something like they click a link in your content and they go take it on their own, but it's actually
No.
like, do you have a conversation with them beforehand and say, okay, is this course right for you? And then they take it and you're actually guiding them through the process.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, yeah, like a hybrid kind of thing.
So I do a hybrid of self-paced and group coaching. So every week, so it's a 5-week course, and every week we would meet to talk about the homework assignment, to talk about where they are in their business, because everyone comes into the course at a different place and different level. So I have clients who's just fresh out of the coaching program, they just got certified, they have no business background whatsoever. They may need other areas where I need to tell them like how to set up the calendar, where to go to set up whether you want LLC or where to go with the website. And I also have clients who come in and they already have a business, they already have a website, they have already stuff that's implemented, but where they're struggling with is how to articulate, how to message, how to talk about the marketing aspects of it. So I have both clientele who comes in taking this course. And in order for me to really help them to be successful, first of all, I sit them down and we have this success roadmap call. Right off the bat, I meet with the group, and I walk them through where to look for things, how do you track things, and I actually have a curriculum where they can track their progress. So I walk them through that journey so they know exactly how to be successful in this course. And then weekly, we have weekly group coaching call. And after our time together, after the 5 week, I also have an implementation and actionable session with them just to make sure that before I send them out to the world, they already have an idea of what's their next step.
Awesome. Yeah. That sounds really good. Like a really good model. Cause especially like having homework, having stuff that they need to do on their own. And instead of like, okay, we've got all these plans, you got to do this, this, and this, and you kind of come back together the next week and it's like, okay, a lot of times things don't actually get done. But if there's some kind of course that they're following, action steps kind of every step of the way, and then you're there being able to check up on their progress and send them messages, and then having a group too. Yeah, having a group of people that you're with, cheering each other on, and being inspired by others too. Like that's definitely a good way to run a program. It really sounds really awesome.
I end up having like a group, a community of all my past students, all my students who decided to stay on. So I'm actually offering a membership this year to allow people to, they want to continue, but it's that one-on-one or the group coaching is not what they're looking for anymore. So I put them into a membership area. So I continue to support them in a different capacity, but they can stay with me and have my all my content pretty much. And so that's coming up shortly this year, that I'll be offering that. But I think, because a lot of what I teach is about that personal journey. It's about that personal stories, right? So each one of them are very different, and in order for me to support them based on what they need, my program needs to be customized in the way that I can talk to each individual and help them and meet them where they are. So it's not possible for me to just place somebody into a self-paced course and just here's all the stuff. And that's something that I also have a lot of energy around, is that in the marketing world now we do marketing the same, like kind of like the cookie cutter, right? You're gonna go on social media, you're gonna go do this, and you're gonna do more live, and you're gonna do, and to me it just doesn't feel right, and it doesn't feel aligned to how I started my business, because I didn't have a cookie cutter way of doing marketing. I just pretty much decided that I was going to share my personal story, and that personal story is going to allow me to connect my audience and allow me to grow my list. And I still believe that email is your number one asset. Everybody should have a list. Everybody should have a list. And because social media is just too noisy nowadays. So you got to think of a way as a coach to take your people off the social media, and where do you want to put them? You can put them in a membership, you can put them in an email. Like, email is still your best friend. So I started to use and tell a lot of my personal stories in these emails, in these marketing campaigns, in these email social media posts, and that started to really, I see the results. And it was like I discovered storytelling by accident because I was telling my story.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've heard this, a million. We always talk about how noisy social media is and how important it is to have an email list. And I've tried to have other places to have like my group, to have my people, and I tried a Facebook group before, and that went well, went okay, but it's like it's a lot to create content for social media for your personal profile, and then also create content for a group, and on top of doing all your lead generation and then client calls and all that stuff. And it just didn't seem, it just never what I tried a few times in the Facebook group, just and never got behind it so much. I love the idea of having the group and leading the group and having people together, but at that time it hasn't never really clicked with me. An email list has always clicked. I've always, because that's how I first learned about marketing and direct response and copywriting. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I feel so connected to this coach and to this group that I don't see anyone else in this group that I'm in, but I'm on the email list, and the way that he's talking to me is like, wow, I feel like I'm a part of something. So I know that email can work so well, and I just haven't found, I'd like to still find something where there's a group of people that come together. The closest maybe has been, in my experience, like just a group getting together on Zoom calls. Just like I'm in like a marketing group, we get together on Zoom, and that kind of feels like a group. But it'd be nice to have some kind of app-based thing that works well. But so you're saying you have like a kind of members? Do you have like a website that you do?
So my course is on Kajabi, and I design all my course on Kajabi. So I have two courses. One is Attract Client Through Storytelling, which is opening enrollment right now. And I have another one, which is a mini course. A mini course is something that I offer, in between sometimes, and when I see there's a need. And that is about, how to find your niche and how to identify your avatar. It's a mini course because to me, that was like a simple step, right? Simple step to get you to the bigger step. And so both of them sit on Kajabi. And so I have a membership or community on Kajabi where I invite and bring people together. Now, I do have a Facebook group, but I will tell you, in my experience, the Facebook group has, depending on how you run it, it has become a place where most people are just interested in what's in it for them, right? And when you run a group, when you run a community, it should be that way. It's what's in it for them. But if you're thinking about growing your list, building a community so that you can offer your course and offer your service, then your Facebook group may not be the ideal place. So you see these groups who end up having a large number of audience, but when you go inside the group, not many conversation is going on. The only post that has a lot of conversation is promote your business, right? Share your social media or talk about your offer, your sale. So it's all about giving the opportunity for someone else to promote their business. And in those posts, they're working well, they're engaging as well. But all the other posts, if you were the group admin and you go in and you go to the Facebook and post, try to engage your audience, you're going to hear a lot of cricket. And so it's very discouraging, right? Especially if you're just starting out, you already have like a small group of people you're putting into Facebook and you're not getting the engagement that you need. It's very discouraging. You think that there's something wrong that you do, but in reality, it's just the nature of the social media and how people are scrolling through so fast, and it's just you're doing the same live videos versus another coach who's doing the same live videos. So it's not giving people enough incentive to wanting to stay and connect. And it's not giving people that personal touch and they say, oh my gosh, this is something new. And what you said is so different than compared to someone else because it's so noisy. And so as a business owner, I as a coach, how I teach my student is that number one, you need to have a social media, definitely use it. And what you want to do is you want to leverage it so that you grow your audience, but you want to take your audience into your private community. And that private community is something that you can, your direct response marketing that we talked about earlier, right? The direct marketing is the direct response marketing is still work, and it worked amazingly. It had helped me to scale in the last 2 years, and so we need to create some type of resources so that you can easily take your audience off the social media, come join you in your private community, and your private community is where you offer everything that you want, right? You nurture them, you love them almighty, and you give all the resources that you can. You treat that person like a real person when you write. And that's what we learn from copywriting, right? You treat that person that you're sending your email to as a real person. And that will change your business dramatically when you can focus on just providing the resource to the people that you want to serve. And that's how you get client. That's how you build a system. That's how you create this magnetic coaching business that will constantly attract the leads into your business. And how we were attracted, how I teach them to attract it, is through the power of storytelling. I just gave away my $3,000 offer.
What did I tell you guys? We're moving into the 8 figures here. This is the roadmap to 8 figures.
Yeah, seriously.
Link to the course below. Yeah, we're definitely putting those links in there for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Damn, yeah, that is good stuff. Yeah.
So I think one of the questions that a lot of my students have is how do I tell like my personal story? And a lot of coaches probably struggle with this one too, because when you talk about creating content, great, I know I need to create content, but exactly what kind of content do I create? So like you probably talk about this with your client too. You teach the client to write content based on like different purpose, a different idea, right? So maybe it's authority post, maybe it's testimonial, maybe it's a case study. So all these different content, but exactly where do my personal story comes in? And so the question I get is, how do I incorporate personal stories into my content creation so that I can connect with my audience and get it bigger and grow my business? And I said earlier that I stumbled upon the power of storytelling by accident. And I say it by accident because when I first started out, my first year in coaching business, I was told that, oh, write a book, because I always wanted to write a book. So I wrote a book, and with the book, I wanted to bring it out to more audience. And I want people to know that, hey, I'm a life and mindset coach. And that's where I started. I started out as a life and mindset coach. I didn't do visibility, I didn't do content marketing before. And so I wrote this book, and my mentor coach helped me to write this book together, put together. I have it in my hand. Now what? Now I have a business, now I have a book, but where are my people? And so I was in the space of, I didn't have any client. I don't know how to do it. And I was already on social media, but my Instagram had 200 followers. My Facebook were all my friends, like 300 of them were all my friends. I couldn't sell it to anybody. And despite the fact that I was talking about I published a book, I didn't know how to launch it. I didn't know how to promote it. I didn't know how to push it to the Amazon bestseller. And so all that, I didn't know how to do it. So I just went door to door. And we talked about like direct response marketing earlier. So one of the direct response marketing back in the old days is that you have to go to door and hang a little flyers on people's door, right? And so that was
Wow.
me when I first started. I had tons. I ordered like over hundreds of books, and I loaded up in my trunk, and I was just driving around town and going door to door to promote my book. Hey, I publish a book. This is my book. I'm a local author. Would you be interested to buy one? And so I went door to door talking to people. And this is something that I don't talk about because it's kind of embarrassing to me. But I went door to door to promote my book. And I learned on that journey that this is not something that I want to do for the rest of my life. And that first year burned me out so quickly that I know that I don't want to go to a networking meeting. I don't want to wake up 7 o'clock in the morning and sitting in a meeting and letting other people watching them being able to articulate their message, but me sitting here trying to figure out exactly who I serve, how I'm serving them. But I have this book I need to promote. And so on that journey, I realized that I need to talk about what can I talk about in order for me to connect with people. And I look very different, physically, and that was something lucky for me, right? Maybe not so lucky in the past, but lucky for me, something so apparent that every time people see me, they're just going to ask, hey, what happened to you? And so I use that, my personal story, as what happened to me, as a way to connect into a conversation. So every time people ask me, what's wrong with you? I said, well, I had this accident when I was 11. But now I am a life coach, and they started to get really curious. Oh, how did you get into that? What made you become a coach? So I start telling people about this journey of how I became disabled at age 11, and how did I, become a life coach and quit my pharmacy job, a doctor of pharmacy, and how did I do that to become a coach? So as I was talking about that story, it started to help me to articulate what would be important for me to share that would change someone else's life. They feel so inspired, they feel so motivated, they feel like they're whatever that they have in their mind, they can go and accomplish it. So as I was talking about that story, I had to bring up the fact that I'm disabled, but I hike Machu Picchu. And so a lot
Mhm.
of my storytelling evolves around the fact that I went on to a 26 miles to Inca Trail and hiking through Machu Picchu with my two crutches. And that was just something that I completely figured out by random, just by talking to people. And so I truly believe that the number one step for coaches who want to get client, it's not sitting behind your desk or interviewing more people to find out what is your niche. What is your high ticket offer? Your step number one is to get out there and start talking to people. Like, you need to talk to people in order to know what is it that they're looking for, what is it that they're struggling with, what is it that you can help with your service. And that is how you get client. It's not sitting and trying to figure out, how do I package myself so amazingly that nobody can afford you? And so that's not step number one. Step number one is to get out there talk to people, have conversation, tell your story, talk about your why, and then through that conversation, you're going to get a lot of information. You're going to get a lot of feedbacks, what worked, what didn't work. Then you can bring back to your desk and figure out where is my passion? Who do I love to work with? Where is my market? How do I design a high ticket offer? That is the proper step of how you design your coaching business if you want it to thrive. Tell your stories.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. What a story. I can't, yeah, that is amazing that you wrote a book, like you, all the energy and time to write a book and be like, okay, I have a business, but the rest, wasn't there. The customers weren't there, and you had like a Facebook, some friends on Facebook that hopefully you could sell to. But then you went door to door with your book.
Yep.
I mean, like, I'm a local author. Like, here's my story. Like, that is an amazing thing. Like, that is another level of determination and like drive to make something happen, to make your business, yourself, a success. Like, you said that's embarrassing. Like, that's amazing. Like, that's awesome. That's so cool. You're going to, like, no wonder you have so much knowledge and, wisdom and success and energy. Like, you've got something else going on, Michelle. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
I think, one of the common, and I see Raj here. Hi, Raj. One of the comment I get from a lot of my women coaches is that, Michelle, have you done this and that? And then I'm like, yeah, sure, I've done it. And then so they're like, how do you know so much? And the reason why I know so much is because a lot of the strategies that you are thinking about, I probably have already done it. I probably have already tried it. And so like, I have a lot of answers to a lot of questions because I've done it myself, and I kind of know what worked and what didn't work for me. And I'm not saying that they need to follow my footsteps, right? Because I would hope that by following me and by signing up to my course, you can eliminate a lot of steps that I have took that really delay my process. And maybe you can learn from my experience. Maybe you can learn from the things that I share. But my goal is that you don't have to wait 3 years to have a successful system that will allow your business to scale and grow. And so, and there's I actually just wrote it today. I said the difference between success and failure is one step. The difference between success and failure is just in that one step. One step you take is going to get you to success, or you can stay where you are and experience the failure. The choice is yours.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is, right? Like, one step, something bad can happen, and you can see it as bad and see it as negative, but you can take one step, one shift in perspective, and that whole thing can change. That whole idea can completely change. You can see, every failure, every time you mess up. I mean, I'm thinking about me just playing beach tennis last night, and I see a lot of times, people like get really angry when they play sports. They mess up. They're like, blah, blah, man, I'm playing so bad today. Blah, blah, and they're like in a really bad mood. And it can be embarrassing too. Like, you have a teammate and you mess up the shot, like sorry, I messed up a lot. A lot of people say sorry, like that when they make like a bad shot and they feel bad because, their partner's not winning. But I don't think like that when I'm playing. It's just, I mean, sometimes I do, I get frustrated, like, I wish I played better. But there's just a distinct moment, even last night, I messed up and I'm like, well, I'm as good as I am where I am right now. And I get better and better as I play. There's no reason to get mad. I'm playing as I'm playing, and I will get better. As I play, I get better and better and better. It's inevitable. So it's the same thing in business. We just are where we are, and there's other people at different levels. We can't control any of that. The only guarantee, though, in life is that as you do more, you get better. It's guaranteed. So there's no reason to get mad. You just go and go and go.
And there's no wrong way of doing marketing. Actually, take it back. The wrong way of doing marketing is going around and spamming people's DM. We don't do that. Okay? I don't know who's teaching this, but please don't teach people to go around and spamming people's DM. Okay, you want real connection, you want real conversation. So the reason why I said there's no wrong way of marketing is that there's no wrong way of figuring out a system for yourself. And I encourage everybody to like try different things, right? Maybe video works better for you. Maybe writing a blog works better for you. So try out different things and see where your heart will land, see where your heart is. You might find that, oh, I don't like social media altogether. Then don't. Focus on your energy in doing in-person connection. Where do people hang out? Where are the conversations that's happening already? And that's where you want to go. And so if you're personal, you're liking what you love is on Facebook, then stay more time on Facebook, create more content on Facebook. If you like LinkedIn, stay on LinkedIn and just let that be your own that place, right? The moment that you land onto LinkedIn, everybody should know that you exist. And that is the type of attitude you want to bring in when you're doing marketing. And chances are, your marketing is not working, not because it's not working. It's because you haven't learned the system and you haven't learned the strategies of making it better. It's not because it's not working. It's because that you haven't been able to make it better. And so it's always about what is working and how can I make it better?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really. Figuring it out. You can make any platform work when you do it the right way. God, it's so hard, your way. It's so frustrating looking at everyone else and the success they have trying to do it their way. And then you think, oh, I've got a way. I want to try it this way. And it's like, can I? I guess I can try it this way, but is it the right way? But I've heard that I can do whatever way I want and it's going to work. And then time goes by and maybe it doesn't work. So then what do? Then it's like you're going like this the point is you got to try and you have to do more and more and more. I'll tell you a little funny story that I heard yesterday, just about this guy. He's talking to his therapist and he's saying, how I feel like my life is there's so many highs and so many lows. Like, how can I avoid, being so high and falling so low into my life? How do I have more of a middle ground here? And she said, well, being in the middle means that you flatlined, means that you're dead. Like, life's not about being in the middle. It's about accepting the highs and the lows. When you're high, you enjoy it and you love it and appreciate it. But when you start to get low, don't pretend like you don't understand what's happening. At least don't come with the mind. Don't not understand what's happening. Know that you're going to go low and you're going to be high. And when you are low, it's a cycle and you will feel good again and you will have success again. And you have to think like that, or else it's too emotionally, you're just screwed
up.
I don't know.
Yeah. Or I was going to suggest if they find themselves in this yo-yo situation, right? I would suggest they work with a coach. Work with a life or mindset coach that can totally help you to do that. And I have a network of them in case you need it.
Nice. There we go.
I was gonna say something about I can't remember. It slipped my mind. I have so many nuggets I wanted to share.
So many things. It's gonna be so valuable. We should sell this,
I know this in itself is a course. It's a course. One of the things that about like which platform do I go to and which one works best. And I noticed that my audience are hanging out on Facebook, and this is something people need to test, right? People need to get out there and test out different platforms and create different type of content that you can be in front of people and see what comes to you. And sometimes you might just find that certain area, certain platform works better than others for what you're offering, for the way and the style of how you connect with your audience. So I would say go big, right? You can create different type of content and repurpose them to meet different platform. But at the end of the day, it's about what would actually move your business needle. And I had a client
Mm,
who was, oh, there's a TikTok, TikTok, I want to go to TikTok and create more content. I'm like, okay, let's think about this for a minute, right? What you're doing now, is being on TikTok going to change drastically in your business right now? If it is not, then focus what you need to focus on right now. Don't worry about the TikTok. When you're ready, then move on to TikTok, right? And so instead of hearing, oh, this work and I need to be on that, I need to do this, I need to try this out, like ask yourself, what would really change my business right now at this time, right this moment, and do that one thing first.
mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many different ways. We always want to change something, and it's good to stick with something and do it and see it out. Have a plan and at least test it for a certain amount of time. Dedicate. If you're going to switch a platform, maybe don't stop what you're doing, but you definitely don't want to just stop one thing and go to the next. But yeah, you can be like, okay, well, I'm gonna just for a month, I'm gonna go all in on this other platform too, or I'm gonna put in a certain amount of work for this other platform and see if it works. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
you might have just made me another 100K here, because I'm just thinking, I came onto LinkedIn about a year ago. I was on Facebook
Mhm.
for a year, and then I moved to LinkedIn because I started targeting executive coaches specifically. And I'm like, it makes sense to be on LinkedIn because executive coaches are probably looking for executive clients, of course, here on LinkedIn. But then I just thought, well, maybe they are on LinkedIn, of course, but are they actually hanging out? Or is it actually easiest to access them on LinkedIn? What if they're actually spending more time on Instagram or Facebook, and me as a marketer helping coaches like that? Maybe it's easier for me to approach them through Instagram in a more casual environment, as opposed to coaches who get bombarded by DMs by marketers just like me, and in content. Logically it makes sense that they're on LinkedIn, but maybe that's not the best place to approach them. So what a nice insight.
See, I just made you another 100K. I told you I'm gonna
Yeah,
make you money today.
yeah, yeah.
So here's another thing that I believe a lot of coaches are being brainwashed, is that they believe that LinkedIn is a platform to connect with corporate, it's a platform to connect with executive coaches, it's a place where coaches need to be. But if you really think about this logically, right? We talk about like a content marketer, we talk about like buyer's journey. If you look at the journey, someone who is executive coaching, someone who is in the corporate, someone who is busy, behind the desk, are they going to be hanging out and watching your live on LinkedIn, let's say 10 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning? They're going to be busy trying to go through their day and get their day done, right? So they are not necessarily, unless they're like really, do not doing anything on a vacation, then they probably hanging out on LinkedIn. So your LinkedIn professionals are not really hanging out on LinkedIn per se, but they do. Everybody has a life. What do everybody have a life do? We need to have a stress out. We need to have a way of tapping out that stressful life, right? So your executive coach and your corporate clients, where are they going? They're going to look at TikTok when they're free. They're going to look at your Instagram reel when they're free. They're going to hang out in the Facebook where they can connect with other parents on the weekend, maybe a soccer team, maybe a soccer mom. They're going to connect with people on Facebook. They're going to connect with people on Pinterest because I can scroll through, oh, look at that beautiful planner. I'm a planner addict. I'm going to spend more time on planner. Or they're going to spend a lot of time on YouTube because they, at their free time, they're going to watch YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels. So they're not hanging out on LinkedIn. And
Yeah,
who's hanging out on LinkedIn are marketers who want to sell marketers.
absolutely. Yeah, that's
I,
it.
I'm sorry, I just made 200.
Mind is full of
I just made you 200.
to
200K.
200K. I'm gonna pay you back someday, Michelle. As soon as I make this money, I'm paying you back.
So
That's
so think
so
about
true.
where it is, and sometimes
Yeah.
it just spend your time and energy in one platform. Like no matter where you focus on that you believe is going to drive the traffic, focus on that. And if you really want to connect with people, think about our human behavior, how we behave, how you behave. What do you do on your free time? Do exactly that.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, as a marketer, I was thinking, yeah, LinkedIn is the best place to connect with those people. But right, who they don't coaches, executive coaches, CEOs, they don't hang out on LinkedIn. Like I tell clients all the time, if you're trying to connect with CEOs, like you can't do it on LinkedIn. They're just not on there. That makes they're a business people. So LinkedIn business people, but they're running their business. They're not hanging out on LinkedIn. Right when they have downtime, they're hanging out on Instagram, on Facebook, yeah, watching YouTube videos, something more casual. And
Yeah.
yeah, there's just as a marketer, LinkedIn is my feed's just full of marketers. It's full of competition. It's like I'm honestly not getting good traction on my content on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
It's really not. And I
I
think I
would
need to,
say
yes.
I
Yeah.
would say a lot of my content comes from like all the traffic. It doesn't come from LinkedIn directly. It comes from like SEOs. My Google SEO analytics, it's really great. So I would still encourage like coaches to create content, but where you want to create that is off your website, and you can share it. You can connect it with LinkedIn, so you can post it. Oh, my cat just pushed the. It
I was
made
like,
me
something's
startle.
moving. What's going?
It's my cat. My cat is moving.
Oh,
And so you
cat.
want to share your resource, and so that you connect with maybe other business owners, right? So when you're talking about like joint venture, when you're looking for affiliates, it's a great way of connecting with business to business. And but other if you're thinking about making that human connection and you want to potentially find your client, where I shine is still on Facebook. I hang out a lot on Facebook, and so for the last 2 years, I spend a lot of time just working off Facebook, and I get majority of my client come from Facebook.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my business got kickstarted on Facebook, and then
Oh
I
my gosh,
switched to
RC
it. I
coming
like
to
better.
Facebook. That means I got competition going on.
You know, where I'm really actually thinking about going is Instagram
Mm,
more.
mm,
Like especially here, just in Brazil, everyone uses Instagram. Nobody
yeah.
uses Facebook. Nobody uses LinkedIn. Everybody uses Instagram. And I regularly delete Instagram from my phone. I'm about to do it again, except maybe not now, but I do it again because I get lost. I get lost in watching reels and content. It's so addictive. It's such a good place to be. And us as marketing coaches, these people, they're not seeing marketing advice every day, but we
Mm-mm.
can be that one person that as they're scrolling through the feed, they see our video every day and they get that little nugget of business advice, as opposed to on
Yeah.
LinkedIn, all they're seeing is marketing and business. I'm also tired of LinkedIn. God, so many boring posts. And I was like, I want to go to LinkedIn so I can like see great content that I like to actually see and have talk to people. The people are great. I love, of course, business marketing people,
Mhm.
but I don't like the content. It's boring and dry and lame. It's not that
Yeah.
great. It's not true, of course, all the way, but
Yeah, so see, RC, you need to create your own style on LinkedIn. Like you could be so different on LinkedIn. You could be the splash of color on LinkedIn, and people's gonna be so attracted to you. Like if you're gonna spend your time on LinkedIn, then you gotta you know be different. Be different.
yeah, I do. Yeah.
Purple.
No, I do.
Purple
I do
is the
gotta
answer
do.
to you.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe I gotta change from blue to purple. Just go all purple. It's a little different.
And your
Hmm.
personality is not boring at all.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm funny. I'm cool. I have good
I don't know about
personality.
cool, but okay. Okay. All right.
What? Don't you know what RC stands for, Michelle? Did you never know this?
Real clown.
Oh my God. Okay. We'll leave it at that.
What is it? What is it? What is it? Tell me.
Really cool. Really cool.
Okay.
Okay. That's my next nugget. Yeah, my next $100,000 right there is I'm going to rebrand to RC Really Cool Clark, purple background guy.
You don't even have to rebrand. Just actually, that's a good tagline.
Do more.
Real cool. Yeah, real cool.
No, you already killed it for me, Michelle. I'm not really cool. You're right. I'm a real clown. That's it.
But I think so the good thing about Instagram and Facebook is that they're connected, right? So if you're a marketer, you can pretty much cross between the two platforms, because Facebook, Instagram, it's all the same. And so if you create one content on your Instagram, you can easily bring it over to Facebook, and so you can kind of test it out. And this is where I said earlier to test it out. Right? Test out like where you get the most traction, where you want to spend your energy. And so a lot of what marketing will work is you have to go out there and you have to test it. You have to test it. And test it, and it's like guessing game, right? I'm going to create something, but I don't know if it's going to work. If it does, then great. You look at that number, you look at analytics, and you do more of it. So a lot of what I encourage my students to do is actually just go out there, test out your message, see what lands, and allow people to give you the feedback that you need. Instead of sitting there and trying to, hey, I need to jump on a research call, market research call, and I need 20 minutes out of your time or 10 minutes out of your time, and you hear cricket, because a lot of us, we don't want to commit the time. So you got to get out there and just test it out, talk to people, get your feedback in, and this way you know exactly which direction to go. So a lot of testing. Test.
Mm-hmm. Test. Yes. Okay.
300K I made you. 300K I made you.
I mean, now I just want to like actually end the live so I can just start.
So you can start working on stuff.
I'm just excited to start working on stuff now, to be honest. Yeah. Sorry, I don't do this stuff for you guys. I just do this for me, just so you know. This call was about me today. So I hope you got something. I don't really care though if you didn't.
Because RC just made 300K.
This is what us coaches do to get free consulting, is we just go live and
seriously.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry. I still got the invite to come to Rio. We're remember we're gonna drink caipirinhas on the boat, and that's all my treat. I'll show you all that stuff. So
I will for sure. After this year, I can really like walk away and just not worry about it, because a lot of the course that I've been doing, I'm testing myself. Right. So like anything that I'm teaching my students, I'm going to do it and then teach them. I'm the kind of person who, if I didn't do it before, then I wouldn't tell them about it. I wouldn't want to teach them, because it's not something that I haven't done. So all the things I'm teaching are the things I have done, and I know what work. And so I can safely say, here's a nice package. I want you to all have it. It's like wrapping into a gift box and give it away. And so traveling is definitely my plan. Yeah.
Nice. That's what we really want as business owners. Freedom of time, freedom of money, freedom of peace of mind. I mean, that's the opportunity we have to create our own business, create our own hours. The 8-hour workday doesn't exist. You don't have to spend 12-hour workday doesn't exist, whatever. We set up all these constraints that aren't really true. We can make it whatever we want. If we have the right systems, if we have the right coach guiding us, we can do it all. Absolutely. Yep. That's what I love about this. What I love about this journey is total freedom. Couldn't do life any other way.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
all right.
I think that's it. I think there's too much money on the table already. We can't keep talking like this and giving it away.
Yeah. I can't keep giving away the free stuff, because people need to come and sign up to
It's
the course.
making it rain. Yeah, it's
I
just
know.
raining right now. It's getting flooded here. We're starting to we gotta
They
start taking
won't.
some
They won't
action.
experience. They won't experience the flood when they come into my community. When they come into my space. There you go.
I can't even imagine.
Not just the
Yeah.
rain, the flood. It will be the flood.
Seriously, I can't imagine. Yeah, we're definitely okay. Yeah, we're gonna when we jump off here, I'm gonna do a summary of these points, and I'm gonna put the link to whatever you want. Yeah, your course, whatever we got there. Let's put that in here. Let's get people taking action, because that's the whole point of this too. It's enough to hear information, but we need people to take action on what we're saying.
Yeah.
Because that's what's really gonna get you that.
Yeah.
We're at 400K now. I don't.
400K now.
There's so much
and
money.
the point is, like, if RC and I can do it, then you can do it too.
Yeah.
That's just the fact. Like, if he and I can do it, you can do it. Yeah.
Yeah. You work really hard. Yeah. I mean, shit, I was working 2 jobs. I worked at a grocery store 6 hours during the day, and then 6 hours a night I worked on my business, and then didn't spend any money, and for a long time didn't go out, whatever. There's some sacrifice, but it's not like you need a degree. You have to be super intelligent. You can just be a nice, fun-loving guy, and you can go play beach tennis, and you can right?
I got lied to. I thought you were pretty intelligent. I thought you were pretty intelligent.
Thanks. I can be a smart guy too. I'm not just a pretty face, I know.
Yeah, sure. Stuff. Smart guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. I know so many like really intelligent people, but on the intelligence, there's one thing to be able to remember things and be really good with numbers, and there's the emotional intelligence. That's what I studied. I studied people, how to connect, how to talk. It's just what I'm good at, what I care about. But
yeah,
I have a feeling you've got both. You're a doctor of pharmacy, and you're doing the business emotional stuff. Like,
I know how to trick my way through the pharmacy stuff. No, I think what you said was really important, and this is the message I want people to walk away with, is that you need to have conversation. You need to know how to talk to people. You need to get into that conversation where the conversation already is, in order to have that business. It doesn't matter how long you sit down and trying to narrow your niche or finding your market or designing this high ticket program. If you don't have the conversation, and if you can't understand people, then your business is going to be suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's call it.
All right.
Let's call it.
Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.
See y'all.